Now, to answer the question that I proposed in the thumbnail, no, I do not think Faze Banks is a monster. And now it's time for me to justify that answer. Good evening, this is the Urban Spaceman, and over the past few days a fair amount of news has broke out about Faze Banks. And to cut a short story even shorter, the mysterious Ferd Bradbury decided to mail himself to Banks' house as a form of prank. However, it did not end well in favour of the Bradburys, with many defamatory claims made in their video against Banks. Now, I'm not here to justify the actions that Banks took upon Omar Bradbury. I'm here to present a bigger picture, like I always do in my videos, because there's a lesson to be learned in everything. Well, although the majority of the internet don't want to learn anything, by God, I'll say it anyways. And I'd like to think I'm a pretty good judge of character. I can tell the cunts from the genuine people, and throughout all the interviews I've listened to and the tweets I've read, Banks is a rather sound and genuine guy. But this situation, at face value, tells a very different story. But this incident has happened in the past, but on a much lesser magnitude, with people antagonizing him, stalking him for a live stream, even though that was technically rice scum, but they live in the same house, you know, and just loitering in general. But that also brings me to the question, is it morally right to visit a big YouTuber in their own home? Well, most of you who can comprehend the concept of common sense will say no, and I applaud you if you came up with that answer. I mean, it's all well and good to get a selfie or an autograph when a big YouTuber's in a public place like a coffee shop, a bar, or a street, but these people are humans too. They aren't monkeys in cages with parents bringing their children to see, well, unless you're part of Team 10, and I've got a lot of bad news for you. But it's disrespectful and borderline stalker of you to invade the privacy of someone else, regardless of whether they are big or not. Why do you think celebrities have guards watching out for them? Well, for more serious cases other than stalkers, but celebrities don't want attention all the time. We all need personal space, and if you can't respect that, then you're most likely a delusional fan who thinks someone, the likes of Leafy is here, is your fucking boyfriend. Now, let's get back to the Banks situation. Given that this has happened consecutively over the past couple of months, it's safe to assume that Banks is past his breaking point, where this constant invasion of his privacy has gotten to his head, and he's fed up. And understandably so. And it took a couple of pranksters to showcase the worst case scenario possible, that being Mo and Ethan Bradbury with their brother, Omar Bradbury, and the smashing of the glass bottle. But there's also a few other claims in the video, the ones that I alluded to earlier. Those being that Banks choked Omar and someone grabbed his crotch, apparently, to get the SD card off of him and off of his camera. There are a few other claims in the videos, like Banks threatened to shoot him.
Yeah, he said he was gonna shoot me.
And there's also a bit of evidence that Banks stole Omar's phone. And much like the rest of these claims and the things that happened, like the smashing of the glass bottle, I really can't justify these. But do you know who can? Banks can. Because like the same cases before, he was able to justify his actions, not necessarily doing the right thing at those moments in time, but perspective is the key word here. Put yourself in a similar position, having people baiting you for a reaction time and time again, invading your space and your privacy. Now, it's easy to say how you would react, for example, saying that you wouldn't mind or you would love for your fans to visit you, but unless you've been in that position, that assumption is practically null and void. But now, back onto the assault claims, and given the Bradburys' unstable reputation, I can't say I believe their claims, because of these red flags. One of the most obvious ones being, there's really no evidence to support this. The Bradburys were in the car filming everything. The assault took place after the garage door closed, and it just so happens that the footage is on the SD card that Banks confiscated.
Obviously, we don't have that footage to show you guys whenever the garage closed on my brother, because the footage you saw, I was recording, and we wanted to secure that footage, so we left.
Now, if this had taken place, wouldn't you think that they would have recorded this, or at least got out their car to see if they could have recorded a bit of audio? But wait, in recording this show, you can clearly hear everyone involved with the garage door shut.
I sent this to it.
Yeah, I mean,
Honestly, I walk from down the block. It's too heavy, bro.
Holy fuck. What the fuck? Mad heavy too.
Clear as day. As if one of them had a bloody wire on them. And wouldn't you intervene if your brother was getting physically assaulted? I mean, they're just sitting in the car. They're just sitting there, even after the bottle is shattered, even after it cuts his leg. But the last red flag would be the lack of acting on Omar's part.
His name Banks, and then his friend, I don't know what his name, I think it's K. I think it's K.
But not only was there a lack of genuine acting, we didn't even get tears. Not even crocodile tears, only forced tears, and not many at that, much like how the Bradburys try to force a reaction from Banks, and how I'm trying to force this joke. But I really do think that Mo and Ethan saw an opportunity to make views and a bit of drama, given that many people have been going to Banks' house, and also given how drama is the #1 source of growth nowadays. Now, no one's really in the right in this situation, to be honest. The Bradburys invaded the privacy of Banks and the rest of them living there, and Faze Banks handled the situation very poorly. Or so we think. And if you take away anything from this video, it would be to wait for both sides of any argument. Scarce has held off releasing the interview with Banks on this topic because it's about to get a little bigger than we all initially thought it would, and we only have one side at the moment, so casting judgment based on what we have would be unfair since Banks' side of the argument isn't as detailed, and it seems as if the Bradbury side was rather cherry-picked if you ask me, showing the worst parts. And to be honest, I do feel really bad for Banks, having to deal with this constant slew of people antagonizing him, and I can understand how that can push someone over their limit and push someone to do the shit that he does sometimes. But if there's something else to take from this video, that would be that everyone has a breaking point. And when you push someone to their absolute limit, whether it be through invading their privacy or forcing a reaction out of them, no one is perfect. Even the big boys make mistakes. What was the last thing? Oh yeah! Don't visit big YouTubers. Like I said, this is common sense. Learn to comprehend it and respect people for once in your miserable fucking lives. God damn it.